Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Lawler here. As always, we do have North American RLCS 2025. I said that out of order. It's the Open 2 event of the season. It's the second time we get to see these rosters in action and some pretty crazy results. We've got a bunch of new faces, some old, some familiar, and some brand new, some interesting storylines, missing some key players like Space Station and Tech. And crazily enough, for the first time in 44 events, Garrett G will not be involved. He's been in every single one since he started and the RLCS started. But this is the first time we're not going to see him in top 16. Pretty crazy stuff. But before we get into the specifics of what I think is going to happen, a word from today's sponsor. Today's video sponsor is Prize Picks, the best place to earn cash while watching your favorite sports, or esports in my case. As you guys know, I'm a huge Green Bay Packers fan, and I've been using this app for quite a while. But I've also been really much so enjoying doing this with my chat on streams. While before the matches start on Fridays, we pick a roster. If you guys are unfamiliar, what you can do is you go and see what the matchups are. You kind of find your favorite players that you think are going to have the best advantage. And the way that it goes is I say, okay, I think Energy is going to do really well this weekend. I look at their players and I see what stat is associated to them. Is it goals? Is it assists? Is it save? And do I think they're going to average more or less than that? Based upon how big my lineup is determines on what the payout is. And I have the ability to actually try if I want to go all or nothing, if I only want to get a majority of them right. There is a bunch of different options and a bunch of different ways you can play. If you sign up using code Lawler, you can put in a $5 deposit and they will give you a $50 credit whether you win or lose or not. If you'd like additional details, information can be found in the description below with a link to everything I'm talking about. With that said, let's get back to the video. So, Group A, a lot of conversations for us to have and discuss, but a couple things that we need to talk about first. Primarily, some new faces, some new things that you guys aren't familiar with. First and foremost, a couple teams here that we're going to be talking about. Number one, Was Up. If you guys didn't hear me in my previous video with NA, pretty cool insight to them. They do have a young player by the name of Life who was discovered when he was like 11, 12, playing on Switch. Community ended up raising funds and getting him a PC, and for him to now be top 16 in North America, it's just kind of a cool storyline. He's going to be paired with Expert and Drewy, who have been around for a pretty dang long time. New team as well as Talladega. This is the former deleted roster from last season with Adam, Oath, and Knight. Team Woo is also new. It is a full French import team in North America with Kasai, Force, and Parka. Netherlands Canada is also back. If you guys haven't or don't remember them, which you should easily by their name. You got one player from the Netherlands, one from Canada, one from America. Justice, Matter, and Taroko. Outside of that, on the other side, Pioneers, JNaps is back. JNaps, Eris, and Aqua did make top 16, bumping out Space Station Gaming. There is no Space Station Gaming competing, despite making second place just a short regional ago. The difficulty is the reason, and what we have found out is because apparently Frosty has admitted that he was freestyling and kind of just chilling and hanging out. And because of that, then an uphill battle and unable to qualify due to the pressures that came after because of the more difficult matches as you get into the 1-1, 1-2, 2-2 rounds, all that kind of stuff. We also have Tree Lamp, who you guys aren't going to know. Tree Lamp is Devo, not like the Season 3 World Champion Devo, and NA Devo, same name, Bora, and Swaz. So some unfamiliar names, some new people coming in. Also no Tech, that is Calm, Talk, and Evo. No Tech due to sign-up bugs with Start GG. If you guys haven't watched my video on that, go back and check. Hopefully things get fixed for Regional 3. But yeah, there is a lot of new teams and a lot of new faces in this one. Some things to me are going to remain true. Number one, I think Complexity is probably the most consistent team right now in North America. I don't know how I feel about their ceiling, though. Are they able to peak and have those higher highs to beat some of the dominant teams like we've seen, like Energy and otherwise? On the other side of that as well, Rebellion, I joke about it, but it's just the truth. They either look like they've never picked up a controller before, or they look like a team that is legitimately aggressively like competitive. Like they're so good when they're clicking, but when they're not, it's like, why do you have two left feet? Like, what is happening? I don't understand it. Outside of that, I do like the Pirates team. I think the Pirates team has a lot of potential as they find more and more time together. Obviously, they're 2/3 former TSM, no longer with Wavy. They're now with 5UP. So I have a feeling that this team could have moments and be that really annoying competitive, kind of like an RRG over in Europe. But we just haven't seen them really give us a solidified result that really makes us turn our head. On the other side, Team Evo, this is with Speed, Relating Wave, and Arju. I've made the comparison to Arju being kind of like a lesser Itachi. He's very fluid. He's very controlled in the midfield. He's going to give you exactly what you want and is easy to play with, but he doesn't have the peaks or the efficiency that I would say Itachi does. To me, there's a lot of conversation between two teams in particular, one being Team Evo. There's been a lot of posts as well on the subreddit about it as well, about how Team Evo just is like surprised. At the end of the day, Speed has had his moments. He's a very systematic player. Relating Wave is very reliable when you need him to be, and Arju can create opportunities. So you're not going to get anything special, but I consider them to have a very high floor, but the ceiling's not much above that. Realistically, they are a team that did go 3-0 in Swiss. Clearly, there's something going on. Outside of that, again, any times I go to Game 5 could go either way. I could see Netherlands Canada going against a Rebellion. I could see Rebellion losing to Team Evo. We don't know what Rebellion's going to give us. I am hoping that they show consistency, even though every game I do have them going to Game 5. I expect CJ and or Rizzo to both have a heart attack on Friday. Outside of that, in the lower bracket, I chose to believe in the young mechanical talent instead of the guys that frustrate me when I watch them play. Talladega, in the past, when I've watched them, have proven that they can be competitive and play up to their competition, but sometimes they just look really, really bad. So I'm going with what's up. I believe in life. On the other side, Wu and Netherlands Canada, I have to believe in the French. So I'm going with the French over Netherlands Canada. I could be proven wrong. Again, Game 5, give it a coin flip. I then have Evo winning through and beating some of these teams. I think there is a hierarchy right now when it comes to the overall standings. You have Energy, Ultimates, Complexity, and then you have a tier below that, which is like 9 lives, and maybe Deleted, depending on how they perform. But I think you have like 9 lives is kind of looking like that 4th place team with Space Station out of the picture. If Space Station can then push back, then you have that conversation. But then you have like Deleted, Team Evo, Pirates, Rebellion, like Gen G. Like there's a lot of teams that are in that packed area that it's like, I don't know what the separation is going to be because we've only seen them once. I'm excited to find out. So that's what I've got. Pirates, I have them going through as well in that lower bracket. On the other side in Group B, as we make the reveal, did a little bit of coin toss with this one for these teams because I just don't know what it's going to look like. Energy, I have them winning pretty convincingly going through. I could see 9 lives giving them a little bit of a fight, but primarily I don't foresee a world where Beast Mode, Daniel, and Atomic concede to a team that's still trying to figure out their stuff. Could be an upset, but I don't see it. I have a coin flip going on this one, and the coin does go in favor of Ultimates. That's the only reason. Is Energy going to show some inconsistencies and some blemishes? Is Ultimates going to live up to their potential? We'll find out. We'll find out. Outside of that, Pioneers, to me, just seems like they're kind of phoning it in for a paycheck. Gen G does have a very good playstyle matchup. Deleted is very systematic, very formulaic. You know exactly what you're getting. They are going to continue to do like very consistent rotations and just do their thing. Gen G is going to do everything in their possibility to disrupt that and cause chaos. I believe Gen G is going to continue to do that. They have beaten them 2 out of 2 times. I foresee that happening again. 9 lives does generally, like, they tend to start a little slow, but I think they will even out against that Omelet roster. We go to the low side. I do think the veterans are going to take out Tree Lamp, but Gen G will disrupt and scramble those said eggs. Sorry for the joke. Deleted, I have beating over Pioneers just because Pioneers has been all over the place. But I would not be surprised if Pioneers absolutely peaks because the amount of talent on the team is there, but it just looks like a chaotic overlapping mess where no one knows what their actual role is. It's kind of weird. So Deleted is who I have pushing through. 9 lives has had their number twice as well. They have beat them in best of 7 for top 4 in open 1, and then they also beat them in open qual stuff in top 32 Swiss, I'm pretty sure as well, in game 5. So I'm going to choose to believe again in 9 lives, and what that does for the standings is actually pretty important. Outside of that, I do think Chicago and the guys have a pretty good understanding of how to beat Gen G. People forget this 9 Lives team is still 2/3. This is still 2/3 the former Space Station team with Kofor. And like Kofor, as it gets more reps, he's only going to look better in my opinion. So 9 Lives has a lot to play for. They're still trying to find an organization. I think they can take it. We'll have to wait and see. When it comes to the playoffs, this is what I've got. Up top, we've got Energy and Complexity. I don't see Energy losing to Complexity. I think Energy is just objectively better. And Ultimates and Rebellion. Rebellion has proven that they can play up to their competition, but they usually falter in those moments. I think Ultimates is the better team, but I still need to see a lot more from Ultimates. I'm still unconvinced that they can have the peaks and the valleys. And I know you guys are going to see the end results. Coin flips happen. Gen G over Team Evo. I think Evo is kind of just a better version at times of Deleted. Very systematic. Do your job. Don't do anything flashy. Gen G, if they can assert their will, play their play style, it's going to be tough for Evo. It's going to be frustrating. But I do believe in the big brains over on Evo to maybe thwart that. My opinion, if Evo starts strong, if they get the first couple of games, then they'll take the series. But if they keep it close, if Gen G keeps it close, I can very much so Gen G eking out a win in like game 6, game 7. I expect this to be a very low scoring affair. Other side of that, it could also be like 6-0, depending on how demos and stuff go. We'll see. 9 Lives, I do think, is the better team over Pirates. And I do think 9 Lives is better than Rebellion from what I've seen so far. My hope is that this is a Game 7 banger and Rebellion really shows up to play. And if they do win it, what that does for the standings is actually pretty insane. On the other side, I do think Complexity is a better team than Gen G. I could see this one also being 4-2. But I'm hoping for a more competitive, more entertaining match on Championship Sundays moving forward. But this will be probably one of the last matches on Saturday. So I'm hoping it's good. Outside of that, we've got Ultimates and Complexity. I do think Ultimates, while Complexity is consistent, does have higher peaks. And I'm hoping to see some of that because we didn't get it last time. And then Energy and 9 Lives. I do think Energy, just as great as 9 Lives can be, we saw the same problem last season where they just don't have the firepower to keep up with Energy. And then the grand finals was a coin flip. I'll be completely candid with you all. It was purely a coin flip. So the coin is favoring Ultimates. In my brain, says Energy still, because even when they falter, they still find ways to win. I think Atomic right now is playing like the best player in North America. And when that's the case, and you have 2 others doing things and living up to that expectation, like, to me, Daniel has been one of the best players in online, while Beast Mode really shows up for on LAN, and those two balance each other out so very well. Atomic just balls all the time. So I'm very, very interested to see on how Ultimate shows up. I don't even myself believe in this prediction. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think this is going to be right in any capacity, but I would like to see it. Because if we take a look at the standings, what it would do, it would basically solidify, hey, Energy is your team going to the major for NA. And then below that, it opens up the door for teams like Space Station still. Even Tech, who has 0 points, can get a win with 15 and potentially bump into that conversation if they knock out some big players. Again, the teams to, in my opinion, pay attention to are how is Complexity going to do? Can they continue to get that consistent top 4 and maybe peak above that? And then on the other side, what's happening with Gen G? What's happening with Rebellion? What's happening with Deleted? What's happening with Evo? All the teams kind of in this range is what I'm really focused on. I think I can assume what is happening at the high end. I want to know what's happening in that middle pack. Who's going to solidify the conversation of strength in the 4th spot going into the 3rd open? And what is the pack below that and how much distance has been created? That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of my thought process. I don't know what we're going to get, and I'm kind of excited to hear that. Either way, I do appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in to the video. If you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. But that is what I have for my predictions. I know they're going to be wrong, but if you have made it this far and you guys do enjoy the content, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.